What's shaking, everyone? Welcome back to season 2 of Mindset Motivated with Zack George and Robert Bruski. How's it going, buddy? How's it going? I haven't seen you or talked to you in a long time in this sort of podcast space.
It's going well, man. It's going well. And I'm happy to be here today. Thank you, everybody who supported us this far. We've had lots of people reach out, and we're really privileged to be in this position where maybe we can help people with some of our discussions. I know this has been a wild ride just in terms of well, I think, and you think, in life and in business, financial in general. And I think this is an important time. We talked a lot about motivation in our first season, but we want to take this season to talk a little bit about mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the first thing that we actually want to talk about, the first subject to get this season I guess. I thought of like fall season or but the season of the podcast going is about resilience.
Resilience, baby. Resilience.
Yeah, well, I mean, because over the last some time, a lot of people have been experiencing a lot of difficulties because of the nature of the world, and it's the people who get through it are the people who are resilient, right? So my thought is maybe we can get some input from Sifu, Zack George, as to what resilience means to him and to you, or to you. I guess you're sitting right in front of me.
Yeah, well, resilience, the definition of resilience is to be able to undergo hard times or tough times and be able to recover quickly. Yeah. Or if you're talking about an object, it's for an object to undergo great pressure and bounce back into shape with somewhat of elasticity. Mm-hmm. So, when we talk about resilience, you're not born with resilience. Resilience is something that's developed along the way. If you've never been knocked down, you're never going to have to pick yourself back up.
It's like a muscle, right?
That's correct, man. That's correct. And we become more resilient along the way. And, in talking about resilience, I mean, champions have a higher tolerance for failure.
Okay, so let me dig in on that.
Yes.
Why do you think champions have such a high tolerance or hold on, is it their tolerance that makes them champions? Or are they champions because of their height? Am I getting that backwards?
No, okay. You got it. So, if we look at, it's not what you're doing, it's why you're doing it. So, champions, it's not about them going in and convincing everybody that they're good, right? It's about that big picture, their why.
Yeah.
Their why. Why are you here? Not what you're doing, why you're doing it. So, it's easy to get knocked down by life. And if you're doing things for material purposes, chances are it's not something that's going to pick you up off the mat, right? It's not something that you're going to charge forward into in the face of fear or the, knowing that it could hurt, and getting knocked down and picking up and going back forwards anyways. Right?
Yeah, I agree with you. From my standpoint, it just seems as though when you're doing something that you're passionate about, and you're passionate about because it has a purpose, right? And it's aligning with your why, all the things that come at you to beat you down, all the arrows that are shot at you, you kind of ignore them, or you put less emphasis on them. The FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt really isn't there. The conditions don't change. You're still getting hammered. You're still getting, abused.
Knocked down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just doesn't faze you because you're not focused on that, focused on the negative part, right? Your mindset isn't there. Your mindset is on the outcome. Your mindset is on the journey. Your mindset is on the purpose, on the why, whatever is driving you. And so I wonder, resilience is a muscle and you can develop it, but it's to me, it's a muscle of the mind or of the brain that comes from your purpose and your why.
That's right, yeah.
A little different than willpower, because I think willpower can be developed for anything that you're doing. You know what I mean? Like even something you hate doing. There's a lot of people that come to a foreign country and they have to take a really terrible, arduous job, until they can make their way up the ladder. And their will to do that is built. Maybe at the beginning they have some difficulties in trying to get up, or like, I hate this job or whatever, but eventually their will to go there, I mean, assuming they don't leave, their will to go to that job gets stronger. You know?
Yeah. And you know what? We want to give you a way out of all this stuff. I mean, we're going to be talking about some heavy subjects that we're going to shine light on, but we also want to leave you with some strategies.
Key takeaways.
Some key takeaways. There's environmental things that can help you with resilience. You know, if you want something bad enough, you'll find resources, you'll find community. Resilience, I mean, it's so hard to stick with something if you don't tell anybody, and you don't have any help, and you don't have any community. The more we reach out and the more we connect with others, the more resilient we become. The harder it becomes to knock us out, because there's, you know, our attitude has built fans along the way.
Right.
You know, so just remember, the longer you fight, the harder it is to surrender. You know, the deeper we get in, you know, just think of if you had somebody that you love, right? And you didn't want to give up on them. You're going to be more resilient than dealing with somebody that somebody told you to look out for.
Right.
Right? You know, if I truly love somebody, you know, I'm going to go through more than I would go through even for myself almost. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, you know, like I say, it's developed along the way, and it's not about what you're doing, it's why you're doing it. So.
Okay, so then if somebody had to ask you, Zach, what can I do to work on my resilience?
Yeah, I would ask them to go back and ask them what they want.
Okay.
What do you want out of life? What is your goal? Why are you here? Why are you asking me this? What is important to you? What do you value the highest? Right? And then we would make a strategy in how we're going to do it. Come hell or high water, we're going to stick to the path, because you know what? At the end of the day, if you're pursuing something you truly love, you're going to fall in love with the process eventually as well too, whether it means, and you know what? Being outcome based is something that, you know, gives us the perception of failure.
Yeah.
Right? Like if we're outcome based, I have to win this. I have to get this.
Yep.
I have to do this. And when we don't measure up to what we think we want, we view that as a knockdown. So sometimes just a step back in your stance, right?
Yeah.
Or stepping off on an angle, as I always use in fight terms, right?
Yeah.
You know, and just changing your perspective, or getting the corner man's point of view, reaching out to somebody else for advice. Anytime I'm ready to throw in the towel and I'm like, I can't, you know, it's not often, but sometimes, you know, enough things happen that it puts us to our knees. But thankfully, I have good people that I've chosen to reach out to and keep around me that will always give me that corner man point of view. The fight's not over. Oh no, we're just getting started. They're getting tired. You're just starting, you know.
Yep.
And these are the kind of things that help me personally with being more resilient. You know, just when people think, you know, oh man, this is, you know, I run a martial arts studio. Man, this is gonna knock him out for good. You know, we come back, we spring back,
Yeah.
like an elastic back into shape. You know, and I think that's attributed to the great people, you know, that we've developed along the way. But if we didn't have that love and that big picture, then, you know,
Yeah.
it'd be
Some powerful stuff.
What's going to get you up off the mat? Who's cheering? Why?
Yeah.
So I think it's developing your why. Why are you doing this? What are you fighting for?
That's right. And I think that's very powerful, because usually resilience training, a lot of people say, just do it over and over and over.
Why?
And they're saying, let's
Why?
find a reason why you're doing it. All right, everyone.
brother.
Yeah, buddy. Okay, that's it for today's episode of Mindset Motivated with Zach George, Robert Bruski. If you guys got any questions about mindset or motivation, just reach out to us. And until next time, stay frosty.
Stay hungry.